My name is McKenna Russell, and this is my persuasive speech. So for many years, young people have been participating in a worldwide gaming phenomenon called Dungeons & Dragons. This role-playing game has been influencing gaming culture since the 1970s, but does it just stand as a fantasy-flavored creative outlet, or does it actually hold educational purposes that are applicable to all spellcasters and barbarians alike? So I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons for about 5 or 6 years, and during that time I've been a player, I've created games, I've done a lot in the general aspect of the game itself. And as I have indulged myself into the properties of it, I've realized that it contains a lot of educational purposes. It's helped me with social interactions, it's helped with quick math skills, and all that sort of thing, so I decided to look into it a bit more. And learning through fun experiences, I found, helps children a lot with retaining the information. And Dungeons & Dragons being the popular format that it is for socialization, I thought that those two probably correlated quite a bit. So teenagers of the modern day are supposedly isolated due to its technological and nerd-based social world. However, Dungeons & Dragons, though what most thought to be an isolation in your basement with weird spellcasting and elves, is now a fresh new creation of the 21st century for all folk alike. One thing that intrigued me about this subject is a thing called the social learning theory. Now, a med school did this with nurse practitioner students to test how this might work for them in their learning environment. So the social learning theory, this is a quote from the article, says, "This has been widely used in education. According to this theory, learners learn about new models of behavior and modify old models through observation and imitation. Moreover, they gain opportunities for observation and imitation through social interaction and fun of education." So basically what that means is these students learned and improved the skills they already had while also gaining new ones because they were having fun with what they were doing. And another study showed that with children, kids actually play with their peers and their parents less now than they ever done before in the past. And play is crucial to a child's mental health, and it prepares children for learning. So not only does it teach them, it actually prepares them to be taught. So on the subject of children, a middle school teacher named Chris Budaj, he's a teacher in London County, Virginia, and he actually devised an idea to put Dungeons & Dragons into his own learning environment, and he created an after-school program for his middle school students. And he says, "You're solving problems with friends in a safe environment, and you're learning to communicate. There's critical thinking. How will your friends be impacted by your choices in the game? And there's an element of fun." So Chris Budaj decided that this was a good idea, and he actually created not only an after-school program, but a website called teachingwithdnd.com, where he allows teachers to incorporate D&D into their own classroom and learning environment. Now, in the past, it has been argued that students simply memorize and then they soon forget their material with simple efforts. But Mr. Budaj states that suddenly it's not just something on a test that you can memorize and forget. Suddenly, radius actually means something to your wizard. So now that we've been gifted with this solution, imagine what you can do with some dice and some pencil and paper. Imagine learning radius and quick math skills from fighting a dragon. Creating these characters that children attach to also help them with their social interactions with friends, which is something that is arguably lacking in our generation. So they create these characters and they get around this table and they talk to their friends and they interact with new and interesting and different people and characters in the game. So not only are they learning math, but they're also learning socialization, and they're not just being told how to socialize and learn these things, they're learning them on their own in their own unique and personalized way and setting. So Dungeons & Dragons, though educational, still contains all of these aspects of fun through learning mathematical application and problem-solving skills, but in a safe environment that children love. And just imagine yourself, picture yourself, you're fighting a frost giant with all of your friends, and you've got these magical weapons, and you have to find out how to infiltrate these layers so that you can save the Elven Kingdom. It sounds kind of silly, but if you think about it, you have to calculate all these little things that go into that and work together to create a common goal. So whether you are facing a frost giant or you're persuading a high ruler of a dwarven kingdom, Dungeons & Dragons actually contains a lot of these beneficial mathematical and socializing aspects that are beneficial to all players, kids, teens, and adults. So what once was a nerdy pastime has evolved into a very, very large community of these creative and accepting individuals. And with this community, the game has brought much use of education and awareness to all of its players alike, and it really has amused and taught a lot of the children of today. So D&D is actually very easy to obtain and is fun for all ages. It's easier now than ever with all of its online resources as well as in-person gaming, because the more people that know about it, the more people are going to play it. So basically what I'm trying to say is get up, get out there, roll some dice, hit the books. There's a dragon in the sleigh.